Since arriving in March 2009, Joao Moreira has rewritten every record book for Singapore jockeys in an outstanding career. We welcome him to the show. Joe, how did it all start? How did you become a jockey? How did the interest in horses begin?
Hello, Craig. Well, it was a funny story because I was working, when I decided to be a jockey, I was working with my brother in a company. And then the manager of the company knew that I would love to be a jockey one day, and he knew the ex-jockey, so he introduced me to that guy. And then by that guy, I met his son, which was a jockey at that time. And then the guy who is the one who took me to the jockey club introduced me to the coach of the Jockeys Academy, and that's how it started off.
And we know you as this successful worldwide jockey now, but it wasn't easy in the initial stages, and in actual fact, they told you weren't good enough to be a jockey initially.
Oh yeah. In fact, I think things didn't go as good as everyone else wished to go to me at the beginning. I just had one barrier trial before I started riding, and then obviously I wouldn't have much experience. And in Brazil, we do have a lot of good jockeys, and I struggle a bit to get going. But fortunately, as you mentioned, the same guy that has mentioned that I should be looking for another job, at the end of the day, he turned up to be my biggest pusher, my biggest helper, and turned up to be my master. So yeah, things went slow early, but turned up to be a little bit quick later on.
And before you left Brazil, you'd ridden 1,000 winners, so a highly successful career as a young man.
Yeah, over there, as I mentioned, I had the trainer that turned up to be my master, support me all the way. And fortunately, I was able to get on top of some of his good horses and win some future races. And then eventually, they start to compare my riding style with his riding style, and consequently, they start to give more and more opportunity to me, and I just grabbed them all. So yeah, things also went very good to me back in my country.
Obviously, you came to Singapore, but even before Singapore, you got the opportunity to ride in a few different countries?
Oh yeah, but most of the time that I went to ride in other countries before come here, was like Brazilian horses that were going overseas, and they were needing jockey, and they called me up. And fortunately, some of the times I was lucky to get on top of some winners overseas, including on the Derby winner in Argentina. So yeah, I had a lot of fun over there too.
And how did it come about, the Singapore opportunity? Obviously, Douglas and Letitia Dragon were instrumental in getting you to Singapore initially?
For sure. Those days that Singapore had a Brazilian jockey riding here, a guy called Eurico da Silva, and now he's riding in Canada. That time he was about to leave to start riding in Canada, and then there was a conversation just after the track work in São Paulo's racetrack, and then I have mentioned to a few of my friends that I wished that I could go overseas, and then once somebody else have heard that, spoke to Eurico da Silva, and then that's how we start off. But obviously, Eurico has recommended me to be a stable rider for Douglas Dragon, and then he said to me, let's just give him a chance, let's give it a try, and things just went so good to all of us. I mean, I rode a lot of winners for Douglas Dragon, and yesterday I saw him. I'm so glad that he's going good, so glad that he's gonna be here today at the races, and hopefully I can get a win on my last day in Singapore for them.
Freeze Master joined by Illuminato. Darien Gap out in the middle. Needing room is Dragonfly. Down the outside, Trapeus runs on. Razira of Sydney over on the inside. 300 metres out still. Freeze Master in front. Over Illuminato. Down the outside, Trapeus. Dragonfly gets through on the inside. Darien Gap in behind them. A Dragonfly for Moreira. Dash through on the inside. Trapeus tries to go with him. But Dragonfly win number 722 in Singapore for Moreira. Dragonfly.
Well, your first winner in Singapore was for Douglas Dragon Ascendant. Do you remember that back in March 2009?
That winner was special, unforgettable. Ascendant.
For home at the 400 metres, AJ Star dads the way over on the inside, and Shin Canson looms up strongly here with the white sleeves. Just off them then is Ascendant, followed by Rogue Spear and Viking Power, but Shin Canson went to the lead. Ascendant coming after him, but he wants to duck in. Shin Canson just in front, but Ascendant might be finishing better on the outside. He's got the upper hand, Ascendant. First win for Joao Moreira. Racing away, Ascendant's going to be way too good for them, and Ascendant wins it by 4. Second tight, dads the way.
How long did it take to settle into Singapore? Obviously, we see you now as this worldwide jockey, but it's not easy to come to a new country and to make friends and to get into the pattern of things.
In fact, Singapore was very good country, very good place to me from the beginning. Obviously, I took a little while to know a little bit about the things, know a few people, but I was very well received by everyone else. Exactly how long it takes, I haven't thought about it yet, but yeah, I guess like 6 months to 10 months, I suppose. But from the beginning, I was always lucky to always be coming to the races and picking up some winners. So, and then once I started winning races, things went much easier to me. Like, gave me more confidence and made me feel like, oh, I can make it. So I just kept on pushing. That's where we are now.
Well, that first season you arrived in March, and by the end of the year you'd had 69 winners already. Was it about then that you realised, hang on, I could be the champion jockey in Singapore?
Well, for someone else who start off 3 months later, yeah, I realised that I was picking up and closing up from the leaders. I said, look, the next year I would have a great chance of being competitive on the premiership, and then things works even better because at that age, at that time, I think Simon wasn't right for the first 3 months of the year, and then that gave a chance to someone else to take over his spot because, you know, before I come over and take that spot, that position, he was leading jockeying for many years and he was doing very well until the time that I came over. So once he didn't start off riding at the beginning of the season, gave a chance to someone else, and obviously I was there and pushing as hard as I could to try to get there. And as you know, my second year over here, I was already able to win the premiership, which was very special.
And Group 1 races, other special ones, of course. You had an early success with a horse called Intercept, and some good memories from the early days of good horses you were running?
Oh yeah, I will never forget that winner on Intercept, year of 2010, and Laurie gave me that ride. The horse had won a few races with me on the handicap races, and when came up to that first winner in a Grade 1 was really nice. Yeah, I can't forget how excited I was on that particular day.
Simon's about to give him his head. He's got about 6 lengths to make up. Then High Noon, followed by Samurai Phoenix and Ravagers. Down to the 350 metre mark, Super Gold takes the lead away from Powerful Ruler. New Rosewood, Escamota, Intercept, and goes. He's under the whip. Hasn't quite got the sprint of last time, but he's looming up on the outside. Super Gold is the leader. Goes, he's coming after Super Gold. Intercept comes through in the centre. Goes he on the outside. New Rosewood, Intercept. Intercept gets there by a neck on New Rosewood.